part 7 of my series around why is everyone selling their Mark 7 Golf R. Welcome to another video, and you join me going through, well, once again, a bit of a series which I've been sort of sharing every Monday, just on the prices of cars, getting an idea of the market, obviously around the Mark 7 Golf R and what's been happening. I think it's absolutely fascinating. Cars being able to be worth a lot more, and people being able to have a car for a year and actually get some money back is nothing short of fantastic, particularly as you still get the value of owning the car and actually driving it as you normally would. Now, as part of this, what I normally do is I normally share essentially what my car is kind of worth from a We Buy Any Car quote, just as like a little bit of a gauge. I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to wait till next week just to allow things to change, because last couple of weeks I've tried it, it's been exactly the same at around sort of £20,375, which is quite a lot for a Mark 7 Golf R with 32,000 miles, 4 years old. Now, before I start going through all your comments, and thank you again for commenting so much for this part 7, so I'm going through part 6 comments, and if you want to check out a playlist of this series, check out it in the link above. I want to talk about a car which I spotted. It was from the Facebook forum, and it was basically someone had sold it and they'd got a bit of money from it, but they sold it directly to a dealer, and this was a VW in Southampton, I believe, and I was quite curious to see how much it was worth, and this is quite fascinating, particularly I talk about the Mark 8 Golf R and I talk about the prices of that car. Well, this 2019 7.5 DSG 11,000 mile Golf R, which looks really nice, was sold by this person. They made a bit of money on it, and it's up for £32,500 on the VW website. And you've got to think, a lot of the manufacturers make their money off like the interest payments of the finance agreement anyway, so they'll be making £37,000 over a 4-year term, something like that, maybe a little bit more. So you're already getting into what a Golf R8 would cost, a Mark 8 Golf R. So I just find it fascinating where things are, and frankly, the more cars that sell for a high amount, the better it is for people who have Mark 7 Golf Rs, because it just keeps things ticking. I thought that was quite interesting, and I just wanted to share that quickly before I go through your comments. So yeah, let's go through some of these comments. So first of all, here we get a message that just says, just a heads up, Motorway don't physically buy your car. Motorway being a different company as opposed to We Buy Any Car, which essentially, I'll explain. Well, this subscriber will explain. Just a heads up, Motorway don't physically buy your car. The quote is just an estimate as to what they think it'll fetch. They offer it to a network of dealers, and the highest bid is offered to you. Check out Evil GT's video on getting rid of their GTR of Motorway. It is good though for getting a few extra quid out of dealer PX though. So yeah, again, just a little bit of hopefully an explanation of how certain things work. I haven't used Motorway, but that's all I seem to be hearing about, whether it's been on the forums or whether it's been from my YouTube channel. So hopefully a little bit of information there to help you out and give you an idea of what to do. So thank you so much for that. Next comment here, I'm grumpy. Car dealers will always lowball you. I part exchanged my previous car last month. Dealer offered me over 2k less than we back. After a bit of haggling, I ended up with £300 more than we back. So yeah, and this is the main part of why I kind of do this series, is mainly to say to you guys, listen, know your car, know your kind of subjects, particularly when it's the second most expensive thing other than your house that you will likely own in your life. Otherwise the dealer is just a money making machine. That's all they want. They want to get as much money as they can off you. Simple as that. So do your research, push hard. It's your hard pride and joy. Walk away if it doesn't work out for you. That's my best advice there. So thank you again so much for the comment, even if you are a bit I'm grumpy from your from your name. But thank you so much for that. Next comment here is, I've just sold my Mark 7.5 R, and this is actually one that I could use your guys' help as well on this as well. So yeah, listen up for this comment. I've just sold my Mark 7.5 R via Motorway to a VW dealer for 2k more than the estimated price I got when advertised. According to the email, the dealer picks up the car, gives me an invoice and pays on delivery to the dealership. Is this correct? Seems a bit unfair, as I couldn't pay for a car from a dealership after I took it and I got it home so I could give it a thorough inspection. The dealer is 3 hours away. What happens if damage was caused on the way down? Now again, I've sort of said, my subscribers might be able to help you out there. So if you do comment on today's video, and again I'll talk about that in next week's video, that's how it works. You comment on part 7, I'll talk about it on part 8. That's how it works. And people do get back in touch, and they regular subscribers watch the channel, so thank you so much. And if you are subscribed and if you do watch my content, please do like the video. That makes a huge difference to the algorithm. Yeah, if I could I ask for 100 likes? I'm going to ask for it. So yeah, let's see if we can get to that. Thank you so much in advance, as always, for the support to the channel. So yeah, I went back and forth a little bit with this person, and they explained how much they kind of got for the car, and you know, a good amount, £26,050 here, and you know, it's a good spec, and they're planning on getting an RS3, so that's fantastic. But yeah, it can be a bit of a worrying time when you're getting rid of a car and you're just given an invoice, because you don't, you know, will they honour it? You know, is your car going to get damaged on the way down? You know, those are very, you know, important questions when you're dealing with a lot of money. You know, £26,000, it's not a small amount of change. So I think it's important that we kind of group together to make sure these things are right. The one thing I would say is, like, don't ever be pressured into, if you ever watch this series and think, oh, now's the time to sell. I'm just giving you, you know, what other people, I say random people, my subscribers, viewers of the channel are doing. You know, I made a prediction that in August I still think this is going to be going up. I'll probably make a different prediction now to actually say, if you actually keep hold of your car, I don't think you're going to be like losing out. You know, I can't see it in a year's time that suddenly prices are going to be worth absolutely nothing. I think as a car driver, the one thing to watch out for is petrol prices, fuel prices in the UK. That's something that I've noticed recently, like the hike on that has been extortionate. Yeah, so that's something to worry about. But I think the actual residual value in your car, you know, you're not going to lose it. For example, this person sold their car for 26,000. Whoever they sold it to will probably sell it for 28, 29, 30,000 or whatever it is. Whoever buys that car, you know, you might lose a few grand, but I can't then see that car suddenly be worth, you know, like less than 20. Put it that way. I think you're in a good position, whatever you do. If you sell it and you make a bit of money, great. If you don't sell it and you stick and hold and you enjoy the car and you get the value out of the car, you're winning as well. So basically, anyone watching this video is winning, both pretty much. So yeah, thanks for your comment. And if someone could provide any more information around Motorway, you know, this isn't like a sponsorship or anything like that. I don't know them. I only know them from people talking about them. But I have heard good things. I have heard that they offer a good amount, and that's obviously promising, and they obviously follow through with their prices. So that's great. Any more input would be fantastic. And thanks so much for the comment there, and good luck with your RS3 as well. That's pretty special. And if you ever wanted me to have a drive in it and put it on the channel, just drop me a message on Instagram, or you know, email me if you just check the about section on my YouTube channel, and we'll be able to work something out. So that'd be fantastic. And yeah, I thought I'd get that in there. Thanks so much for commenting. Next question. It's all about Motorway really now. Just sold my 2018 R to Motorway for nearly 2k more than I paid 8 months ago. Definitely the way to go if you're looking to sell. Faultless process. So yeah, just a good experience there. Good to hear. I think that's the main thing I tried to share, is that, you know, if there's people who are thinking, oh, you know, the market isn't all over the place, used cars aren't worth that much, oh, you can't get that for that. Well, the truth is you can, and people are doing it. So yeah, that's really great, and thanks for sharing. So a few comments here from this person. So Motorway's estimated valuation of my 7.5R before I recently sold it was around £800 less than a WeBack. I may have actually got more if I'd pursued Motorway, but I also may not have. WeBack was easy and very straightforward to deal with. So a little bit of a promising thing, and that is where, listen, time is short for a lot of people, for everyone. Life is short. So WeBack, the fact that their ease of use, that's where they will gain their money. It's very, very quick. Sounds like it's quicker than Motorway, definitely does. You know, I've done my WeBack quotes, and to be honest, yeah, I could take my car down and get it sold and get it, you know, the cash in my pocket, in my bank account for, yeah, in 30 minutes. It's just ridiculous. So that's where the advantage of WeBack is. But let's continue with what this person says. In the dealer's defense, I think they're bidding lower than WeBack because they don't know how long they'll have the car in stock before it sells. In the meantime, in this volatile market, the values could soften up and wipe out their profit. WeBack will move a car on very quickly, and so can react much quicker in the changing process. Buying a standard 8R versus a performance pack will cost you 2k less at the start. So this is slightly a different topic that I mentioned in last week's video. So, you know, follow the series if you're new to the channel. Will cost you 2k less at the start. But if you're going to add 19s and then an aftermarket kit spoiler, you've more than half that figure. Factor in the value of the PP performance pack when you sell it. Most buyers will prefer the performance pack version, and it makes sense to pay the extra 2k from the start. So yeah, a couple of comments there just saying WeBack is good, which is great. You know, yes, you won't get as much, but the quick, easy process. I have used WeBack before on my very first car, and I had no issues with them. It was very nice and quick and easy, and it got me into my second ever car, so I was quite happy with that. That comment around how you can basically get like an aftermarket spoiler or even a legitimate club sport spoiler for your Mark 8 and stick that on the car instead of going down the performance pack route. Yeah, I see what they're saying, how it might not work out in the long run, but when you think about it, if you're paying interest on a large amount of money, if you can reduce that by not having something like a performance pack in it and just buy a spoiler outright separately, I think it can make sense. But each to their own. But thank you so much for sharing those comments there, and yeah, much appreciated. So comment here with a lot of comments to the back of it as well. Thank you so much for commenting. So February, I was getting insurance quotes of 2k for a Mark 7. Now I'm getting quotes of 4 to 5k. Could this be due to the price rising? It is unfortunate to me. So for me, good question, and something, again, if you whatever you comment in this, I will share, and it is relevant. For me, if you're looking at a Mark 7 Golf R, and I know the type of, I've built up a great community here. The type of people who buy this car are not sort of 17, 18. It's a car, if I, at the end of the day, even like a Fiesta ST, which would be my sort of next best car to go for, and it's a car that I owned for 4 years, that's the kind of car you should be looking for because insurance is going to be better. As soon as you get into a Golf R world, even with the four-wheel drive and the fact that it's Golf, yeah, your quotes are going to be very, very high if you're young. That's the key. You don't mention your name here, your age here. You don't have to, but I'm assuming that you are quite young. That's why your quotes are going to be quite high, or if you've had any sort of obviously accidents or anything like that on your record. I actually paid. Originally, I paid about the same as what I was insured on my ST. It's slightly gone up now, but I haven't really shopped around. I've been quite lazy. Shop around, do your homework, and the best thing for me is that things will always change, and generally in the car market things go down, and the truth is, if you're getting insured on a car, the more the car is worth, the slightly more insurance you'll be paying as well. I would not pay £4,000 to £5,000 on insurance on a Mark 7 Golf R, not in the slightest. You are basically saying that in 4 years, that's what the insurance company is saying. You're going to write off your car at least once in 4 years, and we're going to have to pay for that. That is what they're saying. And the truth is, not everyone does. I know these cars can be involved in accidents and whatever because of their performance, but yeah, it's too much money. Anything over £1,000, I think your money's better off somewhere else, 100%. That's my advice there. But yeah, hopefully it drops back down. 2k, I still think that's quite high, but this is just my opinion. I personally would be looking at a car with slightly smaller insurance group, enjoying it, and then as you get older, it comes back to you. Simple as that. Whether you get older and you earn a little bit more money and you have a little bit more savings, and the fact that the insurance quote is better, that's my advice. I'm sorry it's all sensible and boring, but that's just what I would recommend. I know we only live once and stuff, but there's my advice. But thanks so much for commenting. Next question here from my American subscribers. Thank you from the States for still staying tuned. I know this is kind of UK based in some ways, but it still all relates. So here we go. So amazing how different it is over there. I guess because the R's are more popular across the pond, but I happened to see a couple of R's for sale the other day when searching. R32s on a whim, and a 2017 with 43,000 plus miles was going for $35,000. Another with 54,000 miles was almost $34,000, which blew my mind. Makes me wonder what I could get with my 19. I'm assuming that's a 19 plate Mark 7 with less than 12,000 miles that I walked out the door with 88 miles on the clock for $38,000. Yeah, I think they're good news. VW are good news because I've always said this. I enjoy the passionate enthusiasm and enthusiasts of the car, but what I love the most is if I need to get out of it, anyone will buy the car. Anyone would want a grey Golf at the end of the day, in my mind. Doesn't necessarily have to be grey, but whatever. It's a Golf. It does the daily stuff, so it's appealable for so many people. And yeah, a good idea. It's checking out R32s as well and seeing the price on them. I think, yeah, it's difficult. Well, it's difficult to gauge the prices across from the US to the UK as well, because it's obviously a different market as well. I know R32s in the UK actually are surprisingly cheap, but that's because we get taxed heavily because of emissions, and unfortunately that means that you're almost paying, I think think it's only like £600 a year tax a year. So after, if you own the car for 5 years, you've basically paid more tax than the car is worth. So yeah, it means that the total price of the car goes down here. But yeah, no, interesting thoughts. And yeah, your low mild or decent mild 19 plate, yeah, I reckon it's a keeper personally. I'd say hold on to it and enjoy it. But yeah, thank you for commenting as well. Next comment here. So my Mark 5 Golf GTI has also been up in value, I've noticed. So yeah, a great point. And this is something about kind of all VW cars. You don't necessarily have to be like, oh, need the top of the range Mark 7 or the Mark 8. Mark 5, arguably one of the best GTIs going. And for the money, I think it's brilliant. If you look after them, the market comes back to you. That's the thing. So, you know, I'd love to have a Mark 5 GTI. I'd love to get in a Mark 5 GTI and be happy. You know, if I had a different change in financial circumstances or I wanted to get rid of my Mark 7, Mark 5 Golf GTI, I'd be more than happy with that to daily it. Get a clean one, get a straight one, and you'd probably be laughing for years to come because they're decent cars. A few comments there as well so yeah, do get stuck into the comments, read through them. You'll find them useful. That's kind of why I've started up this series as well. Yeah, and thank you so much for the comment. So we're coming up to the last few comments here. So here we go. So I was the guy who sold the M140 after a week. You don't need to own it for 3 months. Now this was off a comment back in part 6 of someone saying it was actually in part 5, but obviously I talk about it in part 6, that you need to own the car for a certain period of time before you can sell it to WeBack. This person, yeah, explains it. Let's just go through it. I was the guy who sold the M140 after a week. You don't need to own it for 3 months. You just have to prove where and how you paid for it. All these terms are on the WeBack website. Since selling it, I've bought a much better spec'd, approved used M140, which I plan on keeping. So great stuff for that. M140, a cracking car. And yeah, it's good to get the clarity on, yeah, the buying process as well and how you found it. So yeah, thanks so much for that. Next, final comment, my 70 plate Golf R estate with 1,200 miles increased from £32,000 to £32,750 at We Buy Any Car. Yeah, unbelievable. I'm a massive fan of the estate. I know the Mark 8 estate has come out as well, the Golf R estate. Looking forward to seeing more of that, looking forward to getting stuck into that. But yeah, I think the estates are obviously the ultimate all-rounder, so no surprise, it's just kind of happening in this way in the market. So there's all the comments there. Thank you so much for everyone who's commenting, getting involved in this series. It seems like you're all enjoying it. I'm certainly enjoying making them as well. Yeah, and I hope I hope you enjoyed this. Now I'm recording this just before the England game, England versus Italy, in the Euro 2020 final held in 2021. So we'll see. I thought I'd film it before because obviously if we lost, I'd probably be a bit down, so I wouldn't be as enthused to be doing a video. So that's why I thought I'd share that. But if you comment in today's video, I'll be sure to share it in next week's video, and we can see how things progress as we progress through July, progress into August, of where things are at. Personally, I don't think anyone's going to lose out, whether you sell or whether you buy. I just think cars and used cars have a huge intrinsic value of them, and something that I want to share because I would rather have as many people know about it as possible, because it ultimately only helps you out, and it's hopefully just puts it broadens your mind to think a little bit differently and to be a bit cunning as well. And yeah, dealers can always be a bit cheeky, so you know, check on this channel, and you know, if I can't help you out, someone else will be able to give you some advice. But thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And yeah, comment, like, share, subscribe. That's the biggest thing. Let's try and get to 100 likes. If you've stayed this long into the video, you must be able to like the video, surely. Thanks so much. Have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you again next time. Cheers, guys.